Hi everyone, Clayton speaking. What I'm going to do today is another tutorial video on how I do my engine glows, or the intake vents on my Falcon grav tanks, or the Falcon chassis, I guess you could call it. So basically, the sort of effect that I want to go for, I don't know how it's going to go with the lighting and whatnot, but so this is a wave serpent I'm working on at the moment. You can probably see that engine glow, vent glow in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and run through, hopefully in under 10 minutes, and see if I can show you guys how I do it. This might all fall on its head and be a disaster because I've never really done a live tutorial, so to speak, on painting a miniature. So if I forget to talk, don't yell at me. So what I'm going to start with is Dark Angels Green. I know this is an older colour. I've got a lot of old colours, but there'd be an equivalent of this around at the moment. I think it may be Caliban Green or something like that. So what I do is I just get enough. Where are we? There we go. Just get enough to coat the brush. Put it on there. Bit of water, about the same amount of water, and I just mix it through. Get a good consistency. This I want fairly thick. And you'll notice the brushes I use Tamiya brushes. So this one here is just like a chisel style flat brush. And then basically, guys, what I do is I pick the middle, so the very middle spine, let's call it, and I'll paint that Dark Angels Green, just leaving a little spot at bottom and top. Just leave that black. Then the next one, you'll see the curvature of the ribs on here and this oval effect, so I just bring that one down a little bit more, and then bring that one down a little bit more. Same on this side. So I don't want to cover all of the spine with the green, and then you can see here how it follows the curve basically, just like that. You want the middle spine to be your focal point anyway, so you leave that. I do that one the highest and lowest, if you know what I mean. I might actually just do one side. That might speed this up a little bit. So I clean my brush off. I don't know if you can see that. I just dip it in the water. Let me see if we can see. There we go. I just wipe it off like that. The next color I'm going to use is a lighter green. This one's it's not green. So same again. Just want to dip it in. Let me see if I can get that to focus, guys. Sorry. About that much. Onto my palette. Same again in water. Just mix it up. And then what I do is basically the distance that I left from the black to the dark green, I'll do that distance again with the lighter green. Just paint it on. Oh, touching a nerve there. So yeah, I just paint that on. Like so. And that's just giving you a bit of a transition from the black to the dark green to this is what I call a mid-tone green. You could start straight with the mid-tone green, but I think that little bit of Dark Angels Green in there just gives it a nice little effect. Close him up, don't need that. Next green I'm going to use, Scorpion Green. We'll let focus, there we go. So that's Scorpion Green. So this is basically what I'll call my first highlight colour. So same again, guys, just a bit on the brush. Now I just use a little bit less water on this one. Probably about half the amount of water that I used on the other two. And then once again, using the just had a bristle come loose. Bristle down, bristle down. What I'm going to do with this colour is, you'll notice with the first two, I've covered the whole spine in the paint. Now this one here, I just want to pick up, and this is why I use the flat brush. This is why I use the flat brush. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to use that edge, the leading edge, and I'm just going to run it along the edge of the spine, just like so. Again, making sure that your high point is this center spine, and then just taper it off for the subsequent spines leading out. So you want this small one to be the smallest. So hopefully that's picking that up, guys, so you can see. You can see what I'm doing there, hopefully. I think the light may be right off, but this may just be a big waste of time given how bright it is. Yeah, but anyway, you can see the technique that I'm using, you can see the colours that I'm using. So we're just going to give that a second coat now, just to make it punch out a little bit. And then what I'll do is, with the brush, let me see if I can get it. Yeah, okay, that's better. Now, I've used the brush basically at a 90-degree angle. So like you're up and down, up and down, up and down. Now I'm going to turn the brush that way. So now I'm just going to run that brush straight across the middle like that. Just nice and light. I didn't need to get any extra paint off the palette onto my brush. So the paint that I had on my brush that I used for the up and down strokes, I've left it and I've just dragged it across the center like so. So that picks up that center point. Just like so. Easy peasy. And you'll notice, guys, that I'm not blending colors as well. I'm trying to keep this really simple and really easy. This will work with any colors, whether you're going to do your purples, blues, whatever. Basically, you're going to need 4 colors. You'll need the darkest, second darkest, mid-tone, and a light color. So that's what I've used. Darkest. Actually, no, that's wrong. Darkest, mid-tone, first highlight. Now what I'm going to use for the second highlight on this one is rotting flesh. Probably sounds a bit weird, but when you have a look at rotting flesh, look how much green that's got in it. It's got a ton of green in that. You can see it glowing straight up. So I think for this sort of application, it's going to be perfect as your final highlight, just to drag across the center. So I just put a little tiny bit on there. It's about as much paint as I want. Little tiny bit of water, just a tiny drop, just to get into sort of a paste consistency. I've got a little bit of fluff hanging out of my brush here that I don't know how I've picked that up. Anywho, so with that, same thing again. I'm just gonna dab that in the center. As I feared, that didn't work at all because it's really hot here. So we just, there we go, that's better. See there in the center, just one dab. I don't even move my brush. I just pick up just try and pick up the central point, and you just saw me. I just dabbed, just like that, just on the leading edge where we've put the other highlight. And then what we can do from that, you can probably see it. Hopefully you can see that. So that's sort of giving you your high point. And then just with the brush, I'm going to use the brush that way and just drag it across the middle, just very lightly, just touching it. And that will be, clean my brush off. Oh, another tip too, guys, I just clean my brush off with the water, put it on a napkin between every colour application. Now that is fundamentally very quick but very effective engine glow. Cheers, guys. Thanks for watching. If you've got any comments or suggestions on how I can do this video better, please let me know, because like I said, I'm not very good at doing these tutorials. I'm very new at it. So, alright, thanks for watching, guys, and just like and comment, subscribe, greatly appreciated. Bye.